Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is Hopeful Chewbacca back at the Church of Chewbacca, and today we're going to go over the Stage 3 Team Affinity Central Showdown. And what I'm going to do, like always, we're going to go over each mini mission I had for this run. I'm going to give you some advice based on each mini mission and how to get it done, what pitchers on the mound, kind of what you should do for your lineup here or there. And then we're going to go over my squad at the end here, and I'm going to give you some suggestions of guys you should draft in the initial draft, as well as picking up after missions. Also in the description below, I will give a full list of all the mini missions I've had, since this is just one of the runs I've done out of 4 of them so far, as well as any of the first, second, and final bosses. I've only had Nick Lodolo as a final boss, and I know that there's more than just a Future Stars Nick Lodolo for the final boss. So if you guys get somebody else in the next couple days, let me know in the comments down below. Also, what I need you guys to do is, if you see that red button there, you should click it and subscribe to the channel. Give this video a thumbs up. Hit that notification bell so you know whenever I'm uploading videos. Guys, let's get into doing this Stage 3 Team Affinity Central Showdown. For the first mini mission, I had Get Set for George Brett. Essentially, what you have to do in this mission is facing the Future Stars Brady Singer, which is the Kansas City Royals Stage 2 player reward. You have to score 2 runs without allowing 2 runs in the first 2 innings. Singer's a sinker baller, so you got to kind of wait for him to lead pitches up in the zone. If not, you'll beat a bunch of stuff into the ground, and it'll be pretty hard to score some runs. They don't have that great of an outfield. I think they still have Soler in right field, and their left fielder's pretty slow. So if you get something in the gap, you can kind of take advantage of it and get at least a double, sometimes a triple if you have a guy that's a little bit faster. Like 65 speed on that slow outfield can normally get you a triple if you get one in the gap and it bounces around a little bit. Their center fielder is pretty fast, though, just so you guys know. The next mini mission I have is Giolito's Burrito. This is essentially you're playing the Players Tournament Lucas Giolito, and you have to tally 2 extra base hits and 2 runs in the first 2 innings without allowing 2 runs. He actually has a little bit of a goofy throwing motion, but once you pick that up, he's really easy to hit. He throws a fastball maybe like 97, 98 miles an hour. It goes super straight, and it seems like he just pounds the fastball the whole time. He throws in a changeup or a slider here and there, and he throws everything high in the zone. So I haven't had any issue doing this mission except for this time around. I just didn't get enough extra base hits, but I was still hitting the ball hard with him. I've had this mission every single time I've done the showdown out of the 4 times, so it seems to be a pretty popular mini mission, at least for me. And I don't think he's too hard to hit. There's also a chance you can see him later on in the showdown as, I believe, the second boss. So it's kind of good that you get this mission so you can get used to his windup, since he's probably not a guy you see too much online. The next mini mission I had is Takeout Twins. So essentially, you enter in the 9th inning. It's tied 5-5 against the Minnesota Twins, and you have to win the game. The pitcher on the mound for this mission is rookie Walter Johnson. It's 90 overall, and this mission was pretty unique because you start out with your 3rd batter. No one's on base or anything. You just start out with your 3rd batter. Something to know. If you stack your lineup 1 and 2 with guys that are pretty good hitters, just note that. That way you can bump them to 3 and 4 and change your lineup up if your 2 best hitters are 1 and 2. I just don't want you guys to kind of screw yourselves over because it starts out with the 3rd hitter on this mission. Walter Johnson's super easy to hit too, and he has a really low hits per 9. I think it's like 82 or 83. When you pitch against the Minnesota Twins, you'll have to face the face of the franchise Buxton and the face of the franchise Killebrew. I'm not sure who else you have to face, but their lineup's definitely stacked. They always have a lot of power hitters in Minnesota. The first showdown this time around was against prospect Michael Kopeck. If you guys did the AL Central Stage 1, this was the same Kopeck that you have to face as the final boss from time to time. So you guys should have a little bit of experience facing him. He does throw the ball very hard. He has outlier 1, so he can throw his fastball 102 miles an hour. So it's something to watch out for. I do not think he's that hard to hit, especially on the veteran level. Now, if you get him in an online ranked seasons game and you're playing him in Legend or Hall of Fame, he's kind of ridiculous with the 102 fastball and guys controlling him well. But it seems like this Kopeck's very wild, so be patient. For this first showdown, you get 12 outs. You're down 2-0, so you have to score 3 runs, and you have a man on second base. The guy on second base is your 8th hitter. You start off with your leadoff hitter. Not too bad of a mission. For Kopeck, just be very, very patient. Another person I had to face in the first showdown was the prospect Casey Mize, who is also another pitcher that is like a 90 overall. He has a lot of good stuff, and he's just hard to hit. It's not that he throws the ball very hard. He just has 5 great pitches, and it seems like even the computer's card mixes a lot of those pitches in, so you kind of don't know what's coming. But I think this Kopeck's a lot easier to hit than the Mize. With the Mize, just kind of be patient, but he does throw the ball for a lot of strikes, so it's hard to be patient, but you just kind of have to pick the pitches that you want to hit, especially balls that are up in the zone on his fastball, particularly for Mize. Once you complete the first showdown, the next mini mission I had is King Konerko. This is based off of Paul Konerko. As you guys know, he was a big power hitter for the Chicago White Sox. He played first base. In the bottom of the ninth with your closer, you just have to get a save. You're winning by 1 run, and you're facing face of the franchise Moncada, prime Minoso, and then face of the franchise Konerko. If it gets to the 4th hitter, you get to face live series Jimenez. Now, this starts off with their 3rd batter. If you were playing the Chicago White Sox and it was their 1 and 2 hitter, you'd have to face the future stars Nick Madrigal and the prospect Luis Roberts. However, it starts you with the 3rd batter, so you get Moncada, Minoso, and Konerko. And the 4th batter, if you get to Konerko with 2 outs, if you want to walk Konerko and face live series Silver Jimenez, by all means, that might be a decent strategy for doing that, especially if you have a left-handed pitcher, because Konerko's attributes against left-handed pitching is ridiculous. And one of my biggest recommendations for this when drafting is to get the gold Andrew Miller if he's an option, because it's very hard for the computer to hit him because he has great hits per 9 and great Ks per 9. So I tried to pick him up, and I got him 3 out of the 4 times as an option. But Konerko can easily mash him if he gets a hold of the ball. The next mini mission is Brew Bullpen Crew. When you come into the game, you come in with your 6th batter and you're facing the future star Zach Brown. And then after the first hitter, no matter what happens, they bring in Dan Plesac. And then after Dan Plesac, they'll bring in Hader if you get enough hits off of Plesac. If not, in the 9th inning, they bring in Rollie Fingers. So you're going to face some Zach Brown for 1 hitter, some Dan Plesac. If you light up Plesac, they'll bring in Hader. If you don't light up Plesac, they won't bring in Hader. In the 9th inning, no matter what, you're going to face the Rollie Fingers 96 overall card that's part of the XP reward path. Try to hit Plesac because Rollie Fingers is a pain to hit against, if I'm being honest. He's one of my least favorite players to hit against when it comes to the computer because they just seem to throw his sinker and forkball low the whole time. They never elevate a pitch with him, so he becomes kind of tricky to hit. You got to be really, really patient. And if you guys are like me, you get a little anxious sometimes when you're hitting, especially if you're struggling some. So I would try to really light up Plesac, who just throws fastballs very, very hard, and I think he has like a slider or something. He's not very hard to hit. The next mission I have is Robin the Kid Yunt, and essentially you have to strike out 1 batter, not allow a run in the 1st inning. So all you got to do is K somebody. Once you get a strikeout, you complete the mission. This is with your starting pitcher. I believe you start out facing the Lorenzo Cain, face of the franchise. So it's not too bad of a mission. These are some of my favorite missions. They have a mission with the Brewers that does this, and there's a mission against the Pirates where literally you just have to strike out a guy and you complete the mission. They take like a minute and a half, and they're super easy. For the second showdown here, I had a showdown against All-Star Bob Feller, who was one of the inning bosses. I believe he's a 3rd inning boss. And he throws the ball very hard. He's pretty easy to hit. He does have a lot of stamina, so you can't just wait him out. Look for him to throw fastballs up in the zone. He'll also hang some of his slow stuff. For this showdown, you get 15 outs, a man on second base, and you have to score 3 runs. Other guys I've had for second inning showdowns is the Rollie Fingers that I just talked about being very hard to hit. I think he's the hardest guy I've had to face for the second showdown. I've had to face him twice. Now, in a showdown situation, you can kind of wait for pitches because he only has like 33 stamina or 34 stamina. So you're going to throw 50 or 60 pitches. He's tired. He'll start to hang the ball more. He'll actually start to elevate his sinker some. I also, the first time I did this, in the second showdown, I had Lucas Giolito, and it wasn't 15 outs. It only gave me 12 outs against him, so I don't know if that's like just a glitch, and he's supposed to be one of the first showdown bosses, and he came into the second showdown by accident. However, if you do get Giolito, don't panic, but you only get 12 outs. Like I said, he's not very hard to hit. Just something for you guys to note in the back of your mind. The next mini mission I had is Kerry Throws Heat. Facing the face of the franchise, Kerry Wood, you have to tally 3 hits and score 2 runs in the first 2 innings. This is much like the King Felix mission that I went over in the Stage 3 Team Affinity West. I have a video for that. You guys should probably go and check that out if you haven't done the West Showdown yet. I'm pretty sure it can help you guys out to complete the showdown. But for this, Kerry Wood's absolutely filthy. The Cubs have a pretty good outfield, and he's just hard to hit. This is one of the cards that I'm definitely going to pick up, is this Kerry Wood, face of the franchise. I think he's a very good starting pitcher. He has a little bit of control issues, but the rest of his stuff is absolutely filthy if you go look at the attributes. But they get 3 hits and 2 runs off of him. I couldn't get the 2 runs this time around. I did get a couple hits, but I grounded in a double play. For the next mini mission, I had Hey Dibble Dibble, trailing the Reds 5-4 in the 9th inning. You have to make a comeback win against prime Rob Dibble. Good luck. This dude's filthy. I mean, he's filthy online. He's filthy as a computer pitcher. He just throws the ball super hard with his outlier 1. On top of that, He just has filthy stuff. It's a hard motion to read, and I haven't seen him that much. So this is the only time I've had this mini mission. I think I've seen him one other time or two other times in ranked season in like the last 3 weeks. So it's not like a pitcher you see a lot. So only going to see 3 batters against him. It can be a little bit hard to hit him. Just try to focus up. Try to hit one of those really hard fastballs and drive it. I just couldn't get a run in. I did get a double off of him. So he is obviously a guy you can get some hits on. He's just not easy to hit. The next mission is Don't Mess with Jason. This is the mission I was talking about with the Pirates where you only have to strike out a guy. So essentially, they give you a Pirates mission, and I guess they just thought the Pirates are so terrible that they're like, we'll just have it so all you gotta do is strike a guy out. That's all you gotta do. You gotta come in, you face O'Neill Cruz prospect card to start, strike him out. He has bad vision. I haven't got past the O'Neill Cruz, so I'm not too sure who's even after him. I'm sure that Jason Kendall's a second or third batter. His face of the franchise, that's the Stage 3 Team Affinity player reward for this, so I don't know. It's a super easy mission. I love it. It's an easy 2 runs. It gets you a diamond player every time. It's absolutely wonderful. For the final showdown, as I mentioned, I've had the future star Nick Lodolo all 4 times. He is a left-handed pitcher. So if you see your symbol versus the Cincinnati Reds, know that you're facing Nick Lodolo and know that he's a lefty, so you want to pick up some guys that are good against lefties. And we're about to go over my squad to look at what those guys are. Alright guys, so we made it in the lineup screen. What I will say is I don't have him on my team right now, but if you get an option to pick him in the first round of the initial draft, pick Harm Killebrew every single time. I think he's the best face of the franchise, Stage 3 legend bat for NL Central or AL Central, especially when it comes to these showdowns, because he has a ridiculous amount of power. Another guy to look out for is the Cleveland Indians' Jim Thome. However, neither of those two are optioned anytime in this draft. This is the first time out of 4 that I didn't have an option either one of those two. So this time around with George Brett. I'm not a huge fan of George Brett. He did get me a lot of doubles. He had no home runs for me in this entire run, but he did get a lot of base hits. And then after I did that Jason Kendall mission we just went over, my option for face of the franchise card that was the best option was Eric Davis, who does have a bit of power and a lot of speed, as you guys can see from the attributes, especially versus lefties. I mean, he's going to mash this Lodolo whenever he faces them. Another guy in the diamonds, if you see in a second round or later on or one of the diamond rounds, is this 97 overall future stars Dylan Carlson. Absolutely rakes. He's a switch hitter. He has a very, very good swing. I recommend him as somebody to look for. If you're facing a lefties, a Javi Baez isn't too bad if you know that you're facing Lodolo at the end. As for gold cards, my biggest recommendation to pick up is this Suarez right here. He's an absolutely monster from each side of the plate. Super glitchy swing. Kind of like the Charlie Blackmon, where his swing is very short and concise. He hits a lot of home runs. He drives the ball all over the place. Another guy I always like picking up that's a gold is Chris Bryant, especially versus lefties. As you can see, his numbers against lefties are ridiculous. 92 contact versus lefty, 96 power, and an absolute monster of a swing. Nick Castellanos is another guy to pick up. He has a really good swing. He absolutely mashes lefties. If you're facing a righty at the end, which I'm sure there are some, and we'll find them out down the road here, I don't know if he's the best option, but definitely if you're facing Lodolo or you know you're going to face a lefty, this dude is a monster. Two other guys to pick up that are golds are Anthony Rizzo and Adam Dunn for righties. Rizzo has a super good swing. Adam Dunn obviously just hits the ball a ton. He's a big old meathead. For silver players, Kyle Schwarber, always recommend him as a silver player when it comes to the Central guys. Another guy is Miguel Sano. And a guy for the goals that I forgot to mention, if he's always there, that you should pick up is Mitch Garver. I should have mentioned him earlier, but he just came back to my mind when I looked at the Minnesota Twins jerseys here. Mitch Garver is another Minnesota Twin you need to pick up if you see an option. He's a catcher. Can play some first base if you need it. Miguel Sano, though, definitely a stud, as you can see. Look at those power numbers. Also, Jorge Soler for silvers, plays right field for the Kansas City Royals, is another guy that would be a good pickup that has a lot of power in the silvers. I'll leave a detailed list in the description down below for diamonds, golds, and silvers like I have for the other 2 showdowns. I hope those are helping you out. Also, if you guys have a person that you really like and you think, hey, why didn't you mention him? Leave it in the comments below. We can have a discussion about it. I'll add him to the list as like a viewer recommendation or whatever, because there's some guys that maybe I just don't prefer over others that you guys have great success with, and I don't mind adding them to the list. As for pitchers, as you've seen, it's important to have a starter and a closer. I think a closer is more important than a starter this time around, just like in the East Showdown compared to the Central Showdown. This is why I have Andrew Miller here, the gold. I think if you can get Andrew Miller, get him every single time. The other time I had a closer, it was Kella from the Pirates. So those are the two guys I recommend for sure. And then for starting pitchers, whichever silver you can get that's halfway decent with K's. I noticed that in the Central, they don't have great silver starting pitchers that have good strikeouts and good hits per nine. I've gone with this Dennis Eckersley twice, but I don't know if he's the best option. He doesn't, I don't know. He's just not too impressive to me. I don't even like his 93 overall Oakland A's card as a closer, to be honest. And I know a lot of guys liked him. I'm just not a huge fan maybe of his windup. I'm not sure. But he got the job done for me this time around. I have picked him 2 out of the 4 times. He's just been the best option. But make sure you pick up a silver starting pitcher because you don't want to be trying to do this with a bunch of bronzy. Alright guys, so that's my lineup suggestions. Check out the description below for more details about it. There's going to be some guys added in there that just aren't in my lineup. Well guys, that's going to wrap up the Stage 3 Team Affinity Central Showdown. Good luck with these showdowns. I hope that this tutorial helps you out. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, need any tips, need help with anything, or just want to have a good discussion about the showdown, comment down below. I'll get back to you as soon as possible to help you guys out. You guys have a great day and be safe.